Okay, so the structure of the video is going to be the following. I'm going to talk about the settings and why they are like this and why I recommend them. And then I'm going to talk about anti-lag, what it does, and I'm going to talk about the resolution as well. And why there's no point in testing 1980 by 960. Okay, so first, MSA 2X is the best value, let's say. It costs a bit of performance, but it looks the best. If you play at this resolution that I play at, I think 2X is very good. If you play at 1280 by 960, I think you can go to 4X or even 8X. Depends how you want the game to look. The next setting is global shadow quality. In the past, people would put shadow quality at high because it would include the moving shadows from artificial light sources. So when you turn a corner, when an enemy turns a corner, you can see their shadow. Now Valve split the setting, so you can keep the shadows at low, but this is the dynamic shadows that you see when a player is peeking. You want these at all, so you see everything. Model texture quality visually doesn't really matter that much, and it costs a bit of performance, so I recommend keeping it on low. This one I recommend keeping on 16x because it costs like 1 FPS and it makes the game look much clearer at distance. The others is just low. Disable this one. There was talk about it being maybe it would help in competitive some competitive scenarios where like a player was close to the wall. You can see a small shadow from ambient occlusion, but to be honest, if you see that small shadow, you're already gonna see the player and gonna shoot them, so I don't think it's worth keeping it. And HDR I think looks the best on quality. FSR, it's FSR 1.0, so it looks garbage. I recommend keeping it on disabled. I would actually recommend, like, instead of going to a lower instead of activating this, I would rather just go to a lower resolution. Now let's talk about the resolution and anti-lag. The point of lowering the resolution, it's to give more breathing room to the graphic card, so we can push more frames. But if your graphics card is already like kind of free, there is no point in lowering the resolution. You're not gonna get more FPS because you are CPU bound at that point. You need a better CPU to push more frames. For example, like you're gonna see in the benchmark, the GPU usage is around like 80 to 90%. If I go into smokes, then it's gonna go to like 99%. But to be honest, this is very rare. And when I go to the smoke, it goes to like 450. So it doesn't really matter. Like, look here, 80 to 90%. This is at 2K 4x3. So there is no point in me lowering the resolution because I'm gonna get the same FPS. If the graphics card was at 99 or 100% all the time, then if you lower the resolution, you get more frames. But here I don't. So there is no point in testing like lower resolutions. I would get the same FPS. Another small note would be the power. If you look at the power, it says 191 watts. Usually this GPU, if it's maxed out, it should have around 280 to 300 watts. So this is another way to see if your GPU is being utilized, not only the usage. So look, it's 86% and the power is low. So the GPU is not stressed out. This is valid only for maps like Dust 2 or Mirage. My GPU usage is not gonna go to like 100%. But if you look at the benchmark I did on Ancient, I have another video. My GPU was at 100% a lot. So in that scenario, if you lower the resolution, I'm gonna get more frames. On Dust 2 is not necessary, but on other maps like Ancient, Anubis, let's say Inferno, is gonna give you more FPS. Point number 2 is anti-lag. What is anti-lag? It's a dynamic frame cap. So anti-lag caps your frames just so your GPU doesn't go to 100%. Because if your GPU is maxed, you get input lag. You get a lot of input lag. So it's better to cap the frames and let the GPU breathe a bit, and you get less input lag. The game feels better. So what anti-lag does is literally just cap the frames like dynamically, just a bit. So the GPU stays around like 97%, let's say. So I don't need it here because the GPU doesn't really go to 99%. Like very rarely it touches like 90 something. Most of the time is 80. So there's no point in me using it. Slight overclock, slight undervolt, slight overclock, maximum power limit. PC specs. Another note, I tried to include like more action-packed scenes in the game, like different parts of the map, long, short, even B, gunfights. I included that to see the FPS there. This is why there are so many cuts. Long, pit.
He's lucky.
Side low.
Short.
Mid pushing.
Flashbang.
B.
Throwing flashbang.
B last. Last B.